Man, it's your big brother K-Rino. Question. This is a question that a lot of people ask out loud. It's a question that a lot of people wonder. Um, and it's definitely one we got to try to figure out the answer to. Can black youth really be saved? I hear people all the time say, oh man, ain't no hope, man. Nah, man, they gone. They gone. They too far gone. Ain't no way, man. Or we may have different opinions on how it needs to be done. But you also have that percentage of people who say absolutely black youth can be saved. There's no question about it. Um, Anybody could be redeemed if put in the right environment, if put in the right types of situations. And I think that when we look at um, the condition of our young people, and then we see how terrible it is, and we see how the behavior is a result of the condition, then one of the first things that some people may think is just looking at it going, oh man, it's no way. It's no way. Because we would look at a lot of the things that we do as a people, and if you somebody who don't get down like that, it may be very, very confusing, head scratching, puzzling, and baffling. Like, man, I mean, like, what makes you do the things you do? What drives you to go down certain roads? And I think that in order to really get an understanding of that, we got to focus on the why instead of the what. And what I mean by that is the what is what we're seeing, exactly what we're seeing them do. They're selling dope, using dope, robbing, stealing, killing, jacking, whatever it is. That's the what. But there's always a why. There's always a root cause to why anything happens, but definitely why people act the way they act. So, you got trauma, you got mental illness, you got um, the conditions that they live, the environment that they become a product of. All of these things create this gumbo and this mix of what makes our young people the way they are. You can look at family life or lack of family life. Um, so, those things being said, if we have teams in place that are geared towards really, really standing in there and helping with reform, then it's no doubt about it that they can be saved. And now, of course, you have agenda, you have powers in place that are creating those very conditions through all means. They do through music, through movies, through social media. There are so many parts to this war. This war is being fought and waged on so many fronts that if we are not aware of that, then we just look at the what and think that we're just naturally thrown off like that. Mixed in with media's perception of black people and black youth in particular, that is the case, that they just, wow, they just savages, they just crazy, they just animals, they're thugs. Well, they learn from the big thugs. So at the end of the day, we can't look for any national programs, state programs, and in a lot of cases, local programs, meaning government, to come to the rescue. It's going to have to be for us, by us. And if it's for us, by us, with people who have no ulterior motives or hidden agendas, people who really, really are concerned about our youth in the community, um, and they see us out there with them. They see examples of people who may have been where they are, or worse, or may have gone to places that they have not went yet, like incarceration, things of that nature, of violence that they may have survived through, and you trying to prevent them from going down that road. A lot of times, man, they can relate to people who are kind of in the same shoes, and they don't really want to hear from somebody who just coming in just because you got a degree or something, or you watched the documentary or something like that. That's not gonna be able to connect. That's not gonna do it. That's not gonna get it. So, um, yeah, they can be saved, and I believe that a lot of them will be saved. Now, we may not save them all. Might not be able to save them all. That's just the realistic. Um, that's a realistic thing, is that we may not, probably won't be able to save them all, but we can get as many as we can if we start to actually care, if we actually start to give a crap about them, and as it relates to us. Look, even if it ain't your child, because that's one of the biggest mistakes we make, is that, well, as long as they ain't my children, I don't care what goes on. As long as they don't come around me, I don't care what goes on. But um, this type of behavior is not just relegated to the ones who are participating in it. It spreads. That's what the behavior is in the first place. It's spilling out into the community. The community is affected by the actions of individuals who are moving other than themselves. So you better care, and I don't care where you at, who you are. You better care. And to our young people, we got to be smart enough and accountable enough within ourselves to not get caught up, to not fall for it. You're falling for a set trap. You're falling for a set trap. And in my opinion, one of the components of being considered street smart is to not allow yourself to fall for obvious traps in the streets. But we think about that from the standpoint of one street person to another street person. I ain't gonna let them set me up. I ain't gonna let this girl set me up, and whatever it is. But you know, you out here in these streets, if you know that there's a bigger agenda and a bigger power out here to set you up, which is the real setup, then you should be street smart enough and have common sense enough to not fall for that as well. So, all right, man, y'all tell me what y'all think about this one in the comment section. I will catch y'all with another real soon. It's your big brother K-Rino. Peace.